the end, beautiful friend.
Hi guys, my name is Andrew Barona from Board Film Studios, CEO and co-founder. Right here we have 4 writers and directors for our new project, Project Z. We're going to go from left to right and introduce these writers and directors.
Hello everybody, my name is Jorge Barona and I am the director of Dead Before Dawn.
Hi, my name is Frank Acosta, and I'm the writer-director of One Last Run.
Again, Andrew Barona, writer-director of Death Awaits for 4.
And I'm James Retta, and I am the writer-director of Misdeed.
What's really exciting right here for Project Z is the fact that it's 4 different stories, this huge zombie anthology film. You know, that gets me excited, man.
Yeah, what I also love about this is that we each wrote and we're going to direct this different segments, but they're within the same universe. And that just takes me back to the good old days of, like, you know, Creepshow movies or
Kind of like the
Grindhouse movies. Yes, yeah, Grindhouse movies.
Grindhouse, yep.
That's what I love about it. And yeah, I mean, I'm super excited to start with this, you guys, man. We've always been obsessed with zombies, and it's just so funny that we met up with you guys who were also obsessed with zombies at such a young age.
Yeah.
So that's why I think that this project is just so far going so smoothly, and so it's been a good turnout so far, man.
Something that is interesting too is the fact that, you know, when we wrote this separately, but we kind of put some hints that it is the same universe. You know, it's unspoken, but there's those small little Easter eggs that you really have to find, you know.
Yeah, really subtle for those you know, eagle eye viewers out there, you know, to really pick up on that type of stuff.
Maybe one of your characters makes a cameo in mine, you know, and that's something that's kind of fun to play with, is that not only did we create 4 different stories, we have this big giant universe. And, you know, I'm really excited for yours in particular, because it's just, you created something that is just, it's so insane. And the beauty about it is it creates this kind of leeway for everyone else to kind of like build up.
Yeah, the way you guys have been kind of saying, I guess it kind of it drew up the blueprints for what the universe is and going to become.
So I wanna go ahead and point out that each of our films are different styles. Like, stylistically, there are different tones. Like mine, for example, it's very dramatic and very like action based. Yeah. But like, let's say yours is very comedic and but at the same time very,
kind of like a
dramatic.
light tone.
Yeah, very light tone with some very humorous aspects to him, definitely, for sure.
And then, like, Andrew's, for example,
mine's more light tone, you know, more a lot. It's
like more focused.
More
right?
focused
Like
onto the characters, very character driven.
Whereas mine is more dark, gritty, and full of revenge.
Exactly.
But it's more or less like a Western. That's kind of how I would describe it.
Yeah.
So you're getting different genres, but like same genre zombies, but you're getting different tones and different kind of like aspects of different types of genres, which is pretty cool, I think.
If you're a fan of zombie flicks and you like something like, you know, Shaun of the Dead, or you can flip it and watch something like you know, Dawn of the Dead, you know, I think that's awesome, the fact that we have created this kind of stylistic short anthology series with this little feature film.
Yeah, there's kind of a little bit of everything for everyone out there, for all the zombie lovers, you know. And yeah, that's what I think is kind of unique about this project and really fun to work on so far.
I've never really seen a zombie film where it does take place between, you know, the years. You know, you usually only get like the breakout. You never get, you know, the in between and the after.
Yeah, I think you always get the
breakout, you know. And I think that's really cool that we start with the breakout, sure, but we end up going off into the tangent of society with the zombies, which I feel is really cool, because you never get to see that. With, you know, living with the zombies, if you will.
Also, like, the evolution of humanity, how we can really touch base on, let's say, like, we start off at this very fresh, the zombie apocalypse is very fresh, and then you look at one character and they're very much secluded in themselves, and then a few years later you see them and they're completely different. They're killers. They, like, you know, that evolution. I think that's something that our films are going to explore.
You put yourself in a situation where you live in a normal world and there's no real consequence to what you do, but you know, like you wouldn't think of stealing, you wouldn't think of killing, you wouldn't think of doing the things that you would have to do to survive. And that's something that I find interesting, is when a character is pushed over the edge and they're forced to, or they're doing things that would never be, they would never do
Like more
morally.
Like it questions your morality.
It questions your morality, and it's like at one point we have to leave that side of humanity to start becoming animals again and surviving.
So it's like a de-evolution of mankind.
Mhm.
Makes sense.
Something that I feel is important in a zombie movie is the production. I
Definitely.
think what separates a good film from a bad film, zombie-wise, is the zombies themselves.
Yeah.
I think it's a very powerful tool to have the appropriate zombie in the film to convey that type of infection.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, man. And I think what Jorge said earlier was something pretty cool, where he's talking about the evolution of the zombies. In the first, in your guys' story, they start off as fresh,
Mhm.
so they're not too messed up
Yeah.
as far as decaying goes and everything. But in my story, in James's story, they take place far down the future, so we have to have them like really messed up
Yeah.
and everything. And I mean, of course, that's like you said, that's what's gonna separate a good zombie movie from a bad zombie movie.
And there's that aesthetic appeal that you can tell that years have passed.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, is really important. And that's something that the donation will go to primarily, is the cosmetics of the makeup.
Yeah, definitely.
To make sure that there's a really good zombie on screen, something that you see and you think, oh wow. And I would like to see that separation between the years, because I think that's important. Mine are very fresh, his are very fresh, but both of yours is very decayed. But how decayed is yours compared to his? That time leap is
Yeah.
very important. And to distinguish that, you need good cosmetics. Time has progressed, meaning that the world has changed. So, production, you have to see that change. Similar to what Mad Max has,
Yeah.
that kind of post-apocalyptic world. We need to build that.
Yeah, exactly. Since one of our stories takes place in the initial outbreak, essentially that's how the world is right now.
Mhm.
But as the stories progress, the world, not just the zombies, but the world needs to look just decayed.
We're gonna have a lot of people involved, extras
Yeah.
being zombies, and the star and the cast and the crew, and we want to take care of them properly.
Yeah, definitely. And this is we're hoping that this is going to be a big feature. It's 4 short stories intertwined into one feature length, but individually it's short productions, and we're going to have, each of us have different cast members, different crew members, and a lot of the donations is going to go to helping to feed them, getting them taken care of. We're going to be shooting it still during kind of the summerish, so water is going to go,
Yeah.
we need a lot of
It's like the bare
hydration.
essentials. We're trying to keep it as minimalistic as possible when it comes to budget, but we also want to take care of our crew in terms of food,
Yeah.
water, anything to make them feel comfortable. We have 4 directors here, but we're also going to have 4 director of photography. We're going to have 4 different cinematographers,
Yeah.
which are 4 different styles. The person that I got has a completely different style from the guy what you guys got,
Yeah.
and that's also going to have a different look. And we have to take care of them as well, because they're going to be kind of the ones that will make our vision come to life too. So now that we know what Project Z is, let's go ahead and see what the individual stories are.